for Indigenization. And the chairperson of the discussion would be Shri Abdul Wahab, Regional Chairman of South of CLE. And the panelists are Shri Anbu Malar, Vice Chairman from PA Footwear Private Limited, Shri Manimaran, General Manager from Fengtai Group, Shri Sai Navneethan, Regional Head from RGFEI, and Shri R. Vishweshwaran from Techno Concepts, Shri A. Moinuddin Basit from who is the CEO of Salma Group, and Dr. K. Krishnaraj, Chief Scientist at CSIR-CLRI. May I request the chairperson and the panelists to grace the dais, please. Thank you, sir. May I request Shri Abdul Wahab, sir, to moderate the session, please.
Yeah, good evening. Good evening, everyone. Today's session is an important session. As we know, we have just announced national leather and footwear policy, by way of which we would need to do a quantum jump in our leather exports, leather and footwear and non-leather exports, from 5 billion to 12 billion dollars. And with the domestic included, needs to be almost 47 billion. So with that opening thing, we have a great panelist here from I would like that each one introduce themselves. That would be much rather than we jump to the discussion. Yeah.
I'm Vishweshwaran from Techno Concepts.
So.
I'm Vishweshwaran from Techno Concept.
Good evening to all. I am Sai Navneethan from Ramsons, Bangalore.
Hello all, this is Manimaran from Fengtai Group.
Good evening, I'm Dr. Krishnaraj from CSIR-CLRI.
Yeah, I'm Moinuddin from Salma Group.
Anbu Malar from PA Footwear. Thank you.
Thank you, colleagues, for the introduction, for the warm introduction. Diving into the subjects, as we all know, the 5 M's, the main 5 M's of the industry, that is coming from the men, money, method, materials, and machines. Machines is a very, very critical, important for the growth of any industry. So if you look at our sector, right from the tannery and to the footwear and the handbags, we have varied kinds of machines. And these machines, unfortunately, over the last 50 years, we are only dependent on imports, barring here and there. Of course, some of our machine manufacturers are also here, and they will be highlighting that. The main crux of this discussion today, why it is very, very important, is majority of the machines are being imported, and how we can do this as we look at a very quantum jump in our export, how this can be augmented. We are always talking about production capacity expansion to meet this quantum jump, and the another is all the ecosystem of the ancillaries, materials to be there for this quantum jump in export and production. And equally important, apart the skill sector that needs to for human resources, machines are also very, very important. In that aspect, we are going to have assembled how these machines could be Indigenized, can be developed in the thing. So advancement, as we the topic is advancement in machinery for indigenization. With that, I would like to start from Shri Anbu Mala, Managing Director, PA Footwear, to start with his opening remarks, please.
Thank you, Mr. Wahab. So the last session, all tiring, but a few points. I'll not go through everything. See, I'll also take some side pathway with the caption given, advancement in machinery for indigenization. See, for any new development, R&D is very important. CLRI has been a part of us, and it is my mother unit where I came for every development, every problem, I got a solution. But when we go for, hello. So regarding the machinery, there are a lot of difficulties when we come to CLRI. Not much support from CLRI. See, for example, your scientists did a very great job. I came for an MOU for developing some chemicals from leather waste, shaving dust. They gave a wonderful support. We got into an MOU, and I have to put on record that the three people who came for doing for us, Dr. Aravindan, Dr. Satya and Ranganath did a wonderful job, and we are making around 4 tons of chemicals, all sort of chemicals, retanning chemicals, and we are using. When this type of support is there from CLRI, why not for the machinery industry? So this is my thinking. And I have to recall one instance, 87, when we came into this industry, we bought a drum, stainless steel drum called Dosa, which at that time it was very expensive, 65 lakhs a drum for 1 ton. And there were around 8 to 9% chemical savings for every lot. Now, the same type of drums in polypropylene are being made in India by Techno Concepts. We got a drum with the same type of savings. So if these things are possible, why not other machines? And when we think of R&D, certainly some support or main support we need from CLRI in reverse engineering. For example, this chemical management in drums. See, now we are feeding chemicals as per the weight of the shaving, wet blue shavings. But I have seen some places in foreign countries where there is a constant monitoring of the weight, and the chemicals are fed accordingly in every stage. This could be done, and if at all it is to be done, what are the possibilities, pros and cons? The scientists have to tell us. Then there is another technology which I have to steal from other companies, laundry washing ball technology. These seem to be very much interesting, but we have to change the entire system. So in what way CLRI can come in and support us and support the machinery manufacturers? So these two things, I want to CLRI people to go back on it and come to us. Then, from the footwear side, there are many machines that must be imported because of their specialized operational requirements. Sometime before, along with the leaders of the industry, I had an opportunity to go to Bangkok and see a shoe factory where they are making around 100,000 pairs every day. But they were having a lot of machineries, customs made machineries, where they can improvise the quality, improve the output. So in this section also, we would like to take CLRI's support. Today we have requested DG Madam to have an additional department here, an engineering department, where you can also work on it, support us, support the industry, support the machinery manufacturers. Without your support, new ideas cannot be developed. When you are coming into this industry, the government also will support here. See, a lot of machineries we are importing. We have been happy in getting machineries from Germany, Italy and all. Why Germany? Longevity. Because the quality of metal used there is very good. But today's cost variation, when we buy 1 ton of cold rolled steel, it is around 45,500 rupees per ton today in China. but in India it is around 60,000 rupees. How the machinery manufacturers can be able to buy this quality of steel and use here? So what they have to use, because of the cost competition, they have to use a lower grade, and the results are not there, and the long time of continuous production is not there. So here we would like to take help of CLRI, where they can also come in, support us through your departments, how you can develop such material, or what are the possible ways, maybe taking help from the government, initiative from the government. These things we are expecting. And the cost analysis, for example, if you are going to import a sole attaching machine, it costs around 30 to 35 lakhs. But there is a company making in India where they are offering at 15 to 20 lakhs. But we are not interested because not proven. If some sort of support is there and some sort of proving support is there, certainly it could be done. Same way it is the cost of computerized cutting machines. It costs around 175 lakhs to 200 lakhs a machine. But when you make in India, it is less than 100 lakhs. So some sort of support, coordination, this has to be developed. This we expect. And what support we expect from the government? Point number one, incentives in technology transfer. Not that we are going to do a reverse engineering and copy the machines. We can buy the technology, we can bring in the technology with some government support and some sort of support from the industry. Then focus on key machine types. As I told you, these cutting machines, finishing machines, and mostly sewing machines. All the sewing machines are being imported. The reason being, we are not able to buy local machines at this much big quantity. Very difficult. But the same way, the manufacturer cannot make that thing. And last thing is that quality manpower. See, there are manpower training agencies for footwear industry. I think it is CFT is doing that. They are training people and giving to the factory. But machinery manufacturers do not have the luxury of getting people. We manufacture, we manufacture engineers, but only from the book. They don't have any skill to work in the factory, and it is also the headache of the machine manufacturer. So these are all some points which we can suggest. Though I'm from the footwear industry and the tannery, I cannot suggest too many on that, but these are things I could understand and get some information. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Anbumala. That was very good. I mean, that is exactly what this whole discussion is about. What are the challenges faced by the industry, especially the tannery and the footwear industry. From the industry point of view, these are the challenges. Definitely we'll sum up at the end. We have taken down the points, and then we'll give later to the Director CLRI for further aspect. So the second thing, I call upon Shri Manimaran, General Manager FENGTAI, to highlight his challenges and what are his suggestions, advancement in machinery for indigenization.
Thank you, Chairman. So I would like to share my input on this subject, that basically FENGTAI being a global manufacturer, I would say that 100% of our machines are imported. So that is the situation here. And the situation will be in such a way that it is something like our R&D in our group will continue to work with the vendor, and they will continue to develop the machine. So this is the kind of ecosystem that is really required in any industry. It is not that we don't buy Indian machinery, but FENGTAI have a very good ecosystem in place back in Taiwan that is driving that. And moreover, when it comes to local manufacturing, as Mr. Anbumala highlighted, we can get machinery at cheaper cost. Yeah, that is good thing to know that. But however, going forward, the future of footwear industry will be something like where the automation is much more needed. The investment on robotics, say for example, today the auto assembling line is very common in a footwear industry. now it is getting in more and more automation. Now, especially the Chinese factories, they are setting up auto lines. If we really can do some innovation on setting up auto assembling lines, then that is going to be a real game changer for Indian footwear manufacturers to invest and save the cost on labor. So instead of setting up or looking on the regular machineries, you should be going or seeing one step ahead of what the future of footwear industry is and how we can cater to support the domestic demand. So that could be the kind of advancement that we should be looking up the footwear machinery making. Thanks for the opportunity.
Thank you, Mr. Manimaran. That is the one of the topics that I had in mind about the automation and robotics, and how the future is. Of course, cost is also very equally important. So that is also one aspect of the machinery side, machinery development side. That is one is the bread and butter machines, and then comes the next line, automation and robotics. So you have brought up the right point, and with that one, moving on to our next speaker, Shri Sai Navneethan from the machinery side. So that will be good to hear from the machinery manufacturing what they are expecting from us as a tanner or as a manufacturer of footwears and leather goods. So what is the take from the actual machine manufacturer, what they are expecting from us?
Shukriya Wahabji. I must thank you for this opportunity. And Ramsons is a 7-decade-old company, and we are in this business for the last 7 decades. To come quickly to the point, India has a 3 billion share in the leather sector, 3 and maybe 13% share in the world, and 9% in the footwear. Now 5 billion has to become 10 or 12 billion. How do we double? Well, if we go back to history and economics, in the 90s, there was a 3%, 4% rate of growth. Then in 2010 to 2015, 10 years, we grew at 7 or 8%. Now, what is the product or what is the differentiating factor we can have? So it comes to the differentiating factor. What I say is the Viper strategy. The Viper is, see, like the one gentleman, Mr. Manimaran, sitting next to me, the vertically integrated factories who have a good portfolio, who use the right word, the ecosystem, and then the revenue. Now, some points were addressed in the beginning of the session. Already that, we are only looking at cost arbitrage. I mean, isko saste mein banao, make it cheaper. But are we willing to invest money both as a company or with government support or without government support for the growth of the industry? Because today everybody wants a ready-made cake. Everybody wants a skilled person. I had few great minds in the industry in the same Tamil Nadu. One gentleman, he told me, Sai, if somebody does badly in Chennai, it affects the whole city and it affects my country. That was a very beautiful thought. I met a customer in Bangladesh. He set up a factory in Bangladesh and he said, I want to feed 3,000 people food. Everybody was stunned. Sir, you must be mad. Nobody gives food to workers. Nobody has done it before. He said, that might be your thought process, but I have to answer my Allah, and I don't want somebody empty stomach to come into my factory and work. So that was another beautiful that I want to feed my workers. How much ever be the number, even if nobody has done it, add it into my P&L account, but see to it that everybody is fed, but nobody goes without an empty stomach and my product should come out well. So this was a very key differentiating factor in the thought process. Now coming to as a company, sir, everybody wants to grow. Sir wants to grow, the South Zone wants to grow, East Zone wants to grow. But I think even we as a company, if we have to grow, what is that differentiating factor? Is it a product? It is a process? It is a person? It is a system? Is it digitization? We can also complain, but I think we are not looking for complaints. Now, if this 13% has to become 26%, then we'll have to sit together and work out what are the products. If a Turkish guy can get $100 per skin for a wash, why can't an Indian skin get the same? Maybe wishful thinking, how do I do it? I am able to comment now because when Kalai Selvi madam spoke, a lot of things woke up to us. As a company, we contributed to a different industry where one of our customers in Colombo, he introduced the concept of tea dye. Why? Because he has a tea factory and he has a garment dyeing factory. So from the raw material waste of tea, he developed 26 palette of colors with very good fastness, gave it to a Japanese company to develop it, and it's called tea dye. So somebody's waste has become another's raw material. We have another company in Bhopal, they wash almost 30,000 pieces of bed linen per day, which is almost 16 tons. It is the biggest plant in Asia. We set up the washing plant. But I am saying this not because we set up. The unique factor was, from the waste, they generated a detergent. And from that waste detergent, it became a detergent. 26,000 women are employed in that mill. They gave that company, everybody, that detergent free of cost. So one was raw material becoming waste, and the other part was the product. Now I am coming to this fact that somebody's waste, somebody's product, somebody's system. So I would like my country to go very far ahead in life. So Wahab said, maybe South is the leader because we get better product and prices we come to know, not in the machines, but in the product you get from your buyers. But if you are able to give Italian quality or world-class quality at an affordable price, because the price, not everybody is same everywhere, let us accept that fact. So coming to our subject, sir, a very good product, a differentiating factor, a good system, and transparency. We have our products where we can give with the software how much of water, chemical and energy is used. Whether you ask or not, you want to declare how much you want to declare, you decide what you want to do, this can be done. So it's up to us. Like the same company in Bhopal, be it domestic or exports, they kept the price and the cost and the colors, everything same. 4 colors, 4 prints, 8 types of washes, domestic or export, same price. They didn't want a different P&L account. So a lot of things can be done. So without wasting much time, I would say, I still come back to that word, VIPER technology, V-I-P-E-R, vertically integrated. So if there are 10 vertically integrated companies like Wahab Group, I want maybe 50. Then they must have a good product or a differentiating factor. Third, as Manimaran said, there must be a good ecosystem. And then the portfolio or the product will give good returns. I think if all these fall into place, policy, government support, skill development, everything, and then we are sitting at the best place in the world, CLRI. I think it's considered to be #1 after the Hong Kong fashion. So we should have all these falling into place. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Mr. Sai Ji. That was very inspiring from your side to talk about from the machinery manufacturing side. Just a small note, Mr. Sai Ji, I do not know, about 15 or 20 years back, I just happened to go to a textile fair, this one, along with my team. And this, in the beginning itself, the Ramson machinery was there. And we just asked what is this small machine is. It's for the washing of, it's for little washing. So why textile people should do this washing, and why not be self in the leather? And we bought that machine, 2 or 3 lakhs was immediately paid, and we got that small 4 or 5 skin machine. And that was the biggest turning point. With that small investment that we just took a thing, and the entire industry, I just within 3 or 4 months, each one getting this same washing machine. We got 1 or 2 drums, and then we saw that everyone was going around. So that's a real growth of this technology adoption, and I thank you. From textile, this washing came into the leather field, and then we started to do handbags washing and footwear. It was endless story. That incident, it's coming back again. So with that said, I will go to our next speaker, Shri R. Vishweshwaran from Techno Concepts.
Good evening, Mr. Abdul Wahab and other speakers, audience. I am happy that R&D needs and advancements are considered for leather machinery. R&D needs has to be done from traditional leather manufacturing to modern era, because leather is a traditional item which you cannot just like that change it. Now vegan leather and other thing has come. That is a different aspect. I'm not talking in that angle. When you do this, when we do this, this one, automation and the computerization is most important. Now let us consider first automation. If you are talking about the automation, now from raw leather to dyeing leather, if you are taking, the drums are rotated at 2 RPM, 4 RPM, 8 RPM. Now, if at all, if they have to have, they are having it 3 different drums to manufacture 3 different this one. Suppose if I have to operate it at the same drum, okay, maybe soaking and liming would leave alone. From deliming to dyeing finish, in a single drum if I had to operate, you know, the RPM has to be standardized for what RPM and which RPM it has to be done. Till now you go to the different tannery, they, each and everybody their own this one, and nobody is clear cut about that. CLRI has to bring out this aspect into this one, so that, you know, the single drum can be used from deliming to dye this one. And to do that, we are using a variable frequency drive to do this. But the variable frequency drive is also limited to certain extent. It cannot be, you cannot vary it too much. And the next part of the drum is a high shelf drum, which creates double the quantity of the thing. Even CLRI till now has not brought out how good the high shelf drum and how good the ordinary drum. Till now there is, to my knowledge, there is no research on that. This is a thing. Now, secondly, how do you the water feeding system and the chemical feeding system, if you are taking it, already it has been developed and other thing. From industry, we need a support to buy Indian products, such as for chemical feeding and water feeding. Now the question is immediately they ask, how will you link it with our this one? Linking is different. The computerization aspect is, that is different. First, at least let us develop into automation of a feeding system and the chemical feeding system, chemical weighing system, and all those things. First, my chemical weighing system was developed and given to was Farida. Mr. Israr has encouraged me to do this. Now at present, the 1 minute, please. Production linked incentive has been tabled by the Government of India. Now this has to be seriously taken into consideration. In last February, it has been already tabled in the Parliament. But they are given the least important for the leather industry. It has been already given in, first it was given for defense, then it was given for automobile industry, Third, it was given for textile industry. But leather and leather products, till it is on the table only. But this has to be taken, this one, they have to do it. Let me, this Council of Leather Exports people and other thing, till now they have never called the engineering people for any discussion. This is really a sad story. I am very sorry, sir. Huh? Very sorry. See, engineering field in leather industry is not at all taken care. Now in CLRI itself, you are taking it. You know, I was taking class for in missionary subject about 5-6 years before. For just took the class for 3 years. After that, they stopped the subject. You know, 33% is the artistic mentality of the. You know, I told T. Ramaswamy this topic. 33% is artistic mentality. 33% is a missionary. 33% is engineering. You don't teach 33% missionary, and you don't select the people based on their artistic mentality, or at least visual this one. You don't check the color blindness or anything. You never do that. And the remaining 33%, even if they pass with a 100% mark, they are the failed candidates only. So now you have to choose how to do this one, both engineering and your chemical process system, both has to be done on the B.Tech leather. Then only the leather machinery and the leather quality will improve. This is my sincere opinion. Thank you.
That was very, very well point taken, Mr. Vishweshwaran. It's all the points is just support from the manufacturer like us is very, very important. And you have also highlighted the most important and awaited is the PLI scheme for the leather and leather products industry, because when we are talking like a quantum jump, it's a big jump, and most important is the number of job that will create by this thing, and that will be so based on the job creation at least, because okay, so many billions can come from other chemical and pharmaceuticals and I mean this mobile phone and everything, but the job that we create is very, very important, and to manufacture 1,000 pairs, 250 manpower is needed in all women. So that is a way you have to look at from the job perspective. And most important is this, you have also highlighted the support from the CLRI. That is also is very important, and we'll just sum up at the end what we could give. And with that said, and we move on to the next speaker, Mr. Moinuddin Basit from Salma Group.
First of all, I would like to thank Dr. Arvindan, Dr. Sriram, and CLRI for inviting for the LERIG meet, and thank you, Chairman, for the introduction. Basically, I did tell the CLRI scientists that look, we have always been working in bringing technology from outside India. So everybody knows that our company brings machineries from Italy, from Germany, from Switzerland, and gives those support. And well, today it was kind of an eye-opener that industry wants to push indigenization of at least the critical machines. So, well, we can say our leather industry, everybody knows we are already going through a difficult phase. Sandhu Malar himself was telling me, what is going to be the future for leather. And so everybody is right now only waiting for orders to come, or brands to come, or customers to come and knock to them, rather than they improvising on their production efficiency and reducing the cost and saving energy in the tannery. So I think these are the main critical points every tanner should start working on and adopt perhaps best practices in different phases of the leather manufacturing. Everybody knows leather manufacturing is a complex process. It's every process needs a specific machine, a specific skill. So when we see why the industry in India hasn't grown on the machinery for tanneries, I mean I'm only talking on behalf of the tannery machines, is because of the specialization of each machines. I mean I can see the Techno Concepts, they specialized always in drums. So they continue to make drums. And so is Ramsons. They have also been in on the dry cleaning machinery and the washing machineries, and it was very easy for them to adapt making drums, and of course they are very famous in the washing for garments and bags, and also leather tumbling articles, which are very famous today. If you ask me, perhaps we have lost that bus. We can say we haven't. That bus is little too far to catch on every machinery, starting from fleshing, liming, for fleshing, for samming, shaving, splitting, different machines. I think the evolution of technology has gone so far that the reason why Indian tanners would prefer to buy a imported machine is to get the latest technology which has evolved, because the technology is absolutely is growing at a very fast pace, and in Europe, maybe this is news for you, but there is a project called Ital Tannery, which is a tannery of the future, and there are 6 to 8 machinery manufacturers who have got together to have the same software installed in all their PLCs and in the parameters, so that all the data can be collected for analysis and to check the efficiency of the to make sure that the efficiency is at the highest level, so that the cost is reduced. So I would invite CLRI to first perhaps at least gather information on the different machinery manufacturers who are present at today, because also the machinery industry in Europe is also going through a very rough patch. The industry is right now in a very difficult state, especially post COVID, post Ukraine-Russian war, where the energy cost have tripled. The basic metal manufacturing industry has gone up, and actually year on year there is a price addition on the machines. If you this is I'm telling you from the horse's mouth, because I am selling the machines which I sold to a tannery maybe in last 2 years back, and if they ask for another offer today, it's already 10 to 20% higher, and it will be going up every year. So it is of course, I was very glad to meet the DG madam, and maybe maybe it's too late to manufacture the entire machine, but perhaps when she said about components, perhaps those are the things which can be researched. For example, the inverters, which can be programmed. And well, there are also many challenges in this, because today the entire machine is fully automatic. It's electronic. It's controlled by software, and those software source codes are proprietary information of the manufacturers. So this is another big critical situation. Of course, all these component manufacturers are having Indian subsidiaries You take Siemens or you take any other electronic manufacturers, all have supports locally, and perhaps CLRI should gather more information about the various. We will be very glad to support whatever information you would need to provide. In fact, Salma joined with Jamata to start an Indian cooperation, Jamata India Industry. Unfortunately, post-COVID, we couldn't go on. But we still, perhaps this the new scheme which Chairman has just mentioned about the subsidies for machinery manufacturing for Indigenization. Perhaps that could be a possibility where we can invite some of the manufacturers in Europe to come and do a joint venture here and perhaps make it more affordable locally. Perhaps I have a lot of things to say on leather, but I think we are short of time, and I would gladly thank you very much for the time.
We have one minute. We have developed, the chemical feeding system and the water feeding system, where we can, with the PLC and touchscreen and other thing, where we can integrate with the factory software as well. And during COVID period, without having any work, we have developed a AGV, automated guided vehicle, which can, front and back automatically the material taking can be done, but still I yet to receive the support from the industry.
Yeah, thank you very much, Mr. Moinuddin and also Mr. Vishweshwaran. Mr. Moinuddin, your point on the tannery of the future for us is an eye-opening, because we have to, as Mr. Manimaran also said, cost is very important, and what the, we can invest and we can do, but at the bottom line is a global world, global competition. If we are not looking at the future and if the cost is there, then everything falls apart. So that is, thank you for bringing, and also happy to note about Jamata India operation. Unfortunately, we hope that it takes on. That is the most important part of this indigenization exercise. And finally, our next last speaker, Mr. Dr. Krishna Raj. I am very happy to say that we have been associated with Dr. Krishna Raj from our factory point of view for the knowledge development. But before I give the mic to you, sir, all the speakers have pointed out the finger at the CLRI support. So you have a very, very tough task challenge, director as well as yourself, to how to, it's like it's children crying back to the mother for the support, to looking for the guidance. So you please share your thoughts.
Chairman of the session, Mr. Abdul Wahab, my co-panelists, my colleagues from CLRI and students, very good evening to all and all. Actually, as far as machineries for the entire leather sector is concerned, maybe we can divide into two categories. One is into leather manufacture and other is into leather products. So both the areas, it is entirely a different kind of machines. Mostly in the leather processing, it is a continuous processing machines. So from one stage to another stage, it is continuously flowing. And in the products machinery, it depends based on the what you call the product. Unlike leather, where it is a continuous. In leather products, it is a different kind of setup. Here, if you really see the footwear market, I just touch upon, because in the morning sessions, many speakers spoke about the potential of the footwear sector. Maybe the estimated footwear market in India itself is around 25 billion US dollars by 2028. So this is expected. So in domestic consumption itself is so much. So the industry here, we mostly have MSME. Not many big industries are there. And in the last 5 years, if you could see, there are many large-scale industries investing into this product sector, aiming for the local market mainly, and also for some part of exports. Examples, the Funkte Group and Kothari Group, and they are coming in a big way, which indicates the huge potential for footwear, especially non-leather footwear in this area. And again, the development of manufacturing base always need associated requirements like raw material, manpower, and machinery, as our chairman said. So raw material, manpower, we could be able to get it. So in the morning sessions, in the footwear materials, people were talking about, the panelists were talking about the non-availability of the material as well. So that is also one point of concern. And again, coming to the machinery, we are very much dependent on imports. And actually, if you really see, there are manufacturers available in India. For example, in case of leather, the drums and other few machineries, we can able to indigenously do it for all the applications. Like thanks to Ramsey and Techno Concepts kind of people, they can able to do it. But other machines, still we have some problem in indigenously manufacturing. And for the product sector, as our Anbu Malar sir said, even sewing machines we are importing. Maybe if you analyze these factors, it finally points to the demand. So until now, maybe until last 4 or 5 years, we can say that the demand is not there. Say for example, mostly leather products are export oriented, and for which no demand is there like that. But in the recent years, maybe in many of the conferences related to leather and footwear, we could be able to see next 5 years is very critical for India, because the domestic market is so huge, where the per capita footwear consumption is going to be from 0.9 to 4 or something like that. That was the projection. As we were discussing, the youngsters are involved in buying this, and also the availability of money to them is more. So this analysis say that we are somehow or other, we have to fulfill the demands of the industry. So when we discuss about that, how will we fulfill the demands of the industry? For example, I just share one of my experience with recent incidents. Actually, there is an organization, Government of India, Government of Assam organization, which is called Amtron. A few months back, they approached us. This is for, they are basically into electronics development, and they approached CLRI for developing sole mold designs. They wanted to, develop the facility of sole mold design in India, that too in the Northeast. Actually, the first question that we were asking is, sir, the industry is, located in, areas like Delhi, Agra, or Chennai, or some places, and how come you are going to develop the sole mold design or manufacturing facility in the Northeast? They were telling, for the whole India, even if it is a north or south, the entire sole mold is coming from China or other countries only. So, even they say, even if we are not having a local footwear industry in the Northeast, we can able to have the, if you are able to supply the molds in a particular quality that the industry is demanding, there is a huge demand. So that is how it is working. So if you really see this, as far as the demand side is concerned, it is 100% there, and we have to go for it. So now we, talk about, how to go about it. So in this particular aspect, we have to choose between, whether it is going to be a China model or a Italy model. Because if you really see, in the China model, what happens, they are actually making the machines and keeping off the shelf. So if you order a machine, it will come the next day. So that is the concept that China people are working. And in case of Italy or European models, only they start manufacturing only after you place the order. So what is the difference? If you really see, the quality matters. It is not that, the Chinese products are less quality, but thing is, naturally the European products which we receive are of high quality. High quality in the sense, even if you could, I could say, some of the machines which we received from Germany are even working after 30 years. So actually here, if you really see, what kind of products the industry need. So in such a case, the collaboration is always needed. It is not only CLRI, which we can solve indigenously, we alone can solve. Actually, as DG was mentioning in her address, CMCRI is already taking up a mission on machinery manufacture for other sectors. Hopefully, we also will contact them and join them in that mission as far as leather and footwear machines are concerned. And as far as the questions raised by our panelists, I don't have a direct answer immediately. Maybe I will work out with our colleagues, and we get the guidance from our director and other people, and we will again come back to the industry and for more discussions. That is what I just want to summarize.
Thank you very much, Dr. Krishnaraj, for your thoughts on the future of the industry, the demand, and the CLRI's willingness to support. That is very, very important, raising to the occasion. You have in the past, CLRI has said whenever the challenges the industry faced, one was the development of the process, then the pollution challenges, then came the augmentation and the growth of the footwear and leather goods. Everything was taken up by the CLRI, and now comes the indigenization of machinery and the support to all the sectors that are there, right from tannery to footwear. And I'm definitely sure that CLRI will again rise to the occasion and handhold the industry for the thing there. With that said, and the session now, all our speakers have spoken. First, I would like to say, if anybody would like to ask any of the panelists from any questions, this opening up to the thing. Yeah.
Hello. Yeah, good evening. Thank you, panelists. That was a really insightful discussion. My name is Shoaib Khan, and I did my BTech in leather technology, and I'm working as a project associate in CLRI. So I just want to share some insights on this particular topic, advancements in machinery for indigenization. Like whenever we speak about indigenization, that is like we need to start it from the scratch. Like my point or my opinion about this is that we majoritarily what we do is the machines whichever we import from other countries, we look at the design, we look at their functionality and import it. But what happens is majoritarily the machines which are designed in that particular countries is all done by Indians. Majority, like what happens is it's because of that softwares and those inputs which we give there. Because I have a few of my friends who are working in Europe, okay, they design machines for the food industry. That's automation industry, they design machines. But all those are my friends who went from India. Okay, so my suggestion is that the industry, the research and the academia, that triple partner can have one kind of conclave where we get a software engineer, we have a leather technologist also in that committee, in that group, where we give our own requirements and we develop the software indigenously. Then eventually from that software we can make the simulation and we can make the machines also. So we need not rely on the other countries or other softwares, because what they have said is that they make and they force us to use that machines. So that is what, like, we all go to other fairs and all. I have seen many business people go to many fairs and they look at these machines and it seems very much impressive. Of course, it will be impressive when we don't have that our own softwares and we don't develop our own things. So I suggest that like the industry to have a broader aspect in bringing up the education side.
That's a good question. Can you, Mr. Vishweshwaran, answer this one on the behalf of the panelists?
This is a very good question for which I would like to this one. Now, we can import certain machines or whatever it is. From that, we can, okay, whatever it is, maybe a Chinese method or whatever you call it, I don't say about it. You can copy it and then we can make it, because the setting machine remains setting machine. Whatever it is going to do that. It is for the last 100 years, the function is same. So we have to take certain thing. Now, I should say, Chrome Leather Company only, they first started with breaking up their machines, and then the local setting machine and the local samming machines are developed only by Chrome Leather Company in the good old days. Still now we are following the same thing. We have not developed anything extra. Now we have added certain little bit of hydraulics by some of the people, and then they are doing it. Now slightly, let us not go for any casting or anything. Even if they give the drawing, we can do it on the MS fabrication and then we can do it. Then later we can do the casting aspect and then we can make more production on that. So it is a question of who has to build the cat, who will buy and then who will do that. Let me tell you, a prototype development, I don't want to say this, is a prototype development center to develop samming machine, buffing machine. They have purchased from Alatti, the machines. And the permission was given by Alatti to take the drawing, and they have given even a lot of details. But PTDC did not develop anything. See, there are certain people, even the old machinery or, the old version of the machinery, we can buy it, we can modernize it. This is not a problem. But who has to build the cat? Somebody has to do it. The government has to support.
Yeah, thank you very much. Yeah.
So it was a very good question. There are two aspects to this, what you are asking. Recognition. Now there is a push strategy and there is a pull strategy. So what you are saying is I can do it. But there is the other side of the business. I am going to take your money. So you are saying I can do it. There is somebody who is going to give you the order and say, you are not got my approval. So this is networking, and this is where we as Indians lack this. We have all the abilities, we have all the knowledge, we have all the competency. What we lack is that reach to that segment or that part of the area of the business. So to answer your question, if you form a digital group or if you form the same thing with your buyers and network with them, maybe we'll get the same approval. For example, the flight which went up to the US, the NASA's budget was halved after thanks to our ISRO. So maybe we will do a very good cost arbitrage, but the push and pull strategy has to be there. So if you educate yourself in that aspect, maybe you will not ask us this question, you will find the answer and implement it yourself.
Of course.
Yeah. Yeah, 1 minute, Mr. Moinuddin.
Perhaps this is a very good, insightful thought about, wishful thinking is fine, but you see that the designs or the software, maybe it is all done in India, but the software programming company doesn't know which application this is going for. So basically the machine manufacturer is holding to that application procedure. So he only buys the basic software application, and then the PLC is coupled with the application. So basically it is not backward integration, it is actually the evolution of machinery. For example, splitting machine. You have seen a splitting machine, right?
Yes.
So splitting machine now comes with a touch panel.
Yes.
So everything is no more manual.
Yes.
No more of the manual push buttons.
Yes.
Is now everything controlled by one touch panel with the PLC control, and now it's the latest is PC control. You just have like a same system, like how the cars are being run on with the software. So it's the same thing also coming on the machinery, but ultimately the basic structure of the machine, as you said, is common.
Okay.
So like how Sir said, a prototype development. In fact, one of the manufacturing, the LERIG, had given a small shaving machine, 800 millimeter, the small 800 machines for shaving. Aleti is the number one. And they gave the drawing. In fact, prototype didn't accept it, but then there was another private manufacturer who took it. He took 1.5 years to develop an 800 machine with a blueprint in hand. So it is more about engineering, also the pneumatic aspects, and it's now the new electronics and PC driven or PLC driven. I hope it answers your question.
Yes, yes.
Yeah, due to time, if we have one more last question, we'll take the thing there. Just summing up from my point of view, some of the things that didn't come up is that we are very happy that due to that saving in the water and chemical consumption, we have informed and to the government, especially Tamil Nadu, to adopt these polypropylene drums, this propylene drums, sorry, PP drums I will say, it's a thing. So I am very much happy to say this has been accepted and it's just a matter of time, it will be announced. So with that, the most important, so Mr. Vishweshwaran, Techno Concepts can have this big benefit as indigenization, and that will come into this thing there. And of course, I'm not sure whether that's part of the these drums are available from your side. That is also you can also that. So that's a very good news. I would like to share as a regional chairman, and since started by our former regional chairman, Mr. Israr Ahmed, I get to know from that he has seen the benefit, and he has informed the government, and paperwork was done. I'm just pushing it continuously because it's environment friendly, it's indigenously also done, available there, so we can really start with this thing there. So that is one thing, sir, I would like to say. And something that didn't come up is also this under the integrated, this IFLADP scheme, IDLS, where we have this modernization scheme and expansion scheme. So under this class, any imported machine that is done, we have a 30% subsidy from the government. We invest, and this 30% comes. For indigenization, it's 35%, additional 5%. So for the benefit of indigenization, this is very good. And the concept what you have informed, like about the PLI scheme, once that PLI scheme is announced, and part of that scheme is not only for the footwear and the leather, but all the ancillary developments is also we have informed the government, like a zipper manufacturer or a buckle manufacturer, and hopefully I will further check whether machinery manufacturing aspect for the leather and footwear industry there. So whenever it comes, definitely this also should be included, and that will come up thing there. And from our side, all the speakers have, sir, from Mr. Manimaran side, sir, I would like to say, you are now the leader in this footwear, and you are going to expand thing there. So when this, I will request you to put to your thing. Of course, one is the technology upgradation, that is very much, that will be there, but definitely the mass bread and butter machines also would think there. If that comes in, because you will have a big need, and with our smaller needs also be fulfilled in this thing there, you will have bigger aspects of thing, whatever is like you are bringing in the ancillaries, reinforcement guide, top thing there, and other thing. Machinery thing also, if it comes, that will be a big benefit that will advance our growth strategy that has the industry, has the thing. With that thing, and lastly, sir, you have a lot on your shoulders from the industry. A lot of points have been back to connected to thing, and in fact, I would like to say, as part of that network that we did for knowledge development part of that thing was also the robotic automation, which CLRI we involved our company for this automation of the handbags and the thing there, smaller thing. It is going at a, since you have put us with the other CSIR lab, that is a very good connection due to huge, due to the thing, it's somewhere in Pilani and thing there. So there is a lot of time taken for back and forth. So the project is going, but at not the pace that we are looking at. So as everybody are looking, not just only for the leather, for the machinery, everybody are tying up. I also, from my side, since we have already started that work, we see that our customers are also coming 6 months, every 6 months, and we are showing this is our project. Unfortunately, after 6 months also, he's coming next week, and we say we are staying with the same project. So that will be just one thing that will talk about the India as per se, not just us. So we have to change, we have to go very fast. So we would request to have a cell of machinery vertical. You have pointed out CMCRI, and that will be a very good thing. So everybody can tie up. So with that said, if the permission of everybody, if anything more to be shared, we can just take there, or we close the session. Thank you very much. Thank you very much for your patience.
We'd like to thank the chairperson and the speakers, and we conclude the LERIG session with this discussion. And we would also like to thank each panelist who brought a wealth of experience, insight, and a unique perspective to the discussions. And may I request the guest on the dais to come to the forefront for the memento presentation, please. And may I also request Dr. V. Chandrasekharan, sir, to present the memento, please. May I request Chandrasekharan, sir, to present a memento to Shri Abdul Wahab, Regional Chairman of Council of Leather Exports. To Shri Anbu Malar, Vice Chairman, PA Footwear. To Shri Manimaran, General Manager, Feng Tai Group. To Shri Sai Navneethan, Regional Head, RGFEI. To Shri R. Vishweshwaran from Techno Concepts. To Shri Moinuddin Basit from Salma Group. To Dr. K. Krishnaraj, Chief Scientist at CSIR-CLRI. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. We will conclude the LERIG Conclave 2024 with the national anthem, please.